Most life on Earth lives in a place we can't see, a place we can't reach easily, and that we still barely understand. To explore it, we need entirely new ways of seeing. The majority of the ocean is the midwater, and when we go down with SuBastian, right, we see about a square meter in front of us, maybe a little bit further, right? So imagine this vast volume, and we're looking at a little pinprick of it.
E quando a gente pensa nos oceanos, a gente sempre pensa num ambiente tridimensional. Então, esse é o maior ecossistema do planeta.
When I was in my PhD, we were towing nets through the water, and I was interested in the fish and the shrimp and the copepods and what are they eating. You know, I was a fish and shrimp guy, and I did my first dive in a submersible. Looked out the window, over 50% of what I'm seeing are jellyfish, not fish or shrimp, right? So it's like, wow, there's just so many, and there's so many different kinds. Then I went back and I looked to see how many of these are described, how many do we know about? And it's like, about that, and all the rest of them were not. Being able to live in an environment which is mostly water, almost no food, and there's still so many different kinds of them, it's pretty exciting stuff.
And the more interesting part to me is not just who is there. There's this huge ocean out here that is full of incredible animals. But what are they doing? Those animals are the ones that are moderating a lot of the biogeochemical cycles that are happening in the ocean, connecting the shallow ocean to the middle ocean to the deep ocean.
Então, além da ciência, a gente precisa pensar no oceano como uma grande massa d'água cheia de seres vivos.
Really, for many of these animals, the only way to study them is to go down and look at them undisturbed. So in past expeditions, we were testing this new technology. In this expedition, we've gathered a group of experts to look at the animals, like jellies, crustaceans, worms, and we're using this technology in real time to describe new species in the midwater.
On this expedition, we're using two different instruments that our group has developed. The first is DeepPIV, which is a laser-based imaging system. It allows us to get really fine-scale scans of animals, particularly gelatinous and mucus structures. And then the second instrument we brought along is called EyeRIS. It's a panoptic or light field imaging system. It allows us to get three-dimensional information in a single frame. And so by being able to use these kinds of imaging systems that allow us to get a snapshot in time of what these animals look like in their natural environment when they're happy, you know, it really gives us a more accurate representation of what these animals are. I think imaging is really powerful because it allows us to non-invasively look at the animals we're trying to study with the goal of inspiring empathy for these animals that we come across.
The deep sea is over 95% of the living volume that organisms can live in on our planet. And there's so many jellies out there, they must be very important to the entire planet's ecosystem.
Oh my God, incredible.
For me, my excitement around these new technologies is moving us to a world where we're able to observe ocean life without negatively impacting it. And so by combining our imaging technologies with the advancements that we've seen in genomics, I mean, I'm hoping we will get there someday.
So for our viewers out there,
I think on this expedition we have an opportunity to really bring the animals of the deep ocean and all of their beauty and all of their mystery, bring it home to people on shore. I really want to show people what's out there so that they can be part of it, they can explore it as well, and they can appreciate it and want to take care of it.